Well, there we go, Sherwood Lake, early spring morning. Spring has been a bit late this year. We have very late snows, but this is looking nice. It's quiet, just the sound of construction in the distance. Well, I'm taking a wander through these woods. It's been a while, it's been a few months since I've come here, and as promised in the last video I did, I've got Thor with me, taking him for a wander. I'm not doing anything in particular today, just taking a little walk, try to get a doggy tired, and just enjoy this sort of dull day. It's a dull, damp day. We've had rain in the night, and it's very good. It's a very good feeling at the moment. I love these woods, and over the 7 years that I've been coming here, I've seen an awful lot of change. Mostly management by the Kent High Wheel projects, and they've done a grand job. They've taken a lot of the rhododendron and laurel out, and they're getting the woods back to open woodland as it should be. I'm not sure whether they've got any ideas for the overstood coppice yet, and I think I shall start coming back here doing some bushcrafty stuff. And I do have some opinions on bushcraft, as you know. I think most people don't practice bushcraft as such. They practice going out in the woods, having a cook up and a sit down, which isn't in my book bushcraft. To my mind, it's a lot of skills: spinning, weaving, making buckskins, carving wood into useful utensils or objects of art, or both. But then again, that is just my opinion. More later. And of course, since they've cleared the woods down a bit and got rid of a lot of the, as I said, the laurel and rhododendron, there's an awful lot of this springing up. One of my favourite early wild edibles. Well, it's not focusing very well. There we go. And that is Ramson's wild garlic, and very tasty too. Well, this is my little camping spot in the woods, and this is how a camping spot should be. No fancy fireplaces, no fire backs or anything, nothing dug up, just a couple of trees. I've had fires here. I've had a blazing fire just about there, in which Avalon and I shared some heat one night, and it's very good. Now this is, to my mind, this is the art of bushcraft. No trace, in and out. Okay, an expert tracker will be able to tell that someone's been here, been sleeping here. It's been well over a year since I've actually set up camp here, and I've always left it in this more or less condition. About 3 years ago, this tree here fell down, and it's slowly going back to nature. It's a lovely pine. There's some wonderful fungi growing on it. I see the little Thor is having a good sniff around. And a couple of years back, it was absolutely heaving with amethyst deceivers, a lovely fungi, very delicate in taste. And it's a wonderful piece of woodland. But as I reiterate, this is how bushcrafting should be in my book. Leave no trace. Don't modify the woodland. Nature does it enough, and this has been modified enough as it is in the past. This is the top Henderson coppice. Behind me is an excellent stand of Scots pine, and through there, past the holly, is coppice woodland, mostly sweet chestnut. It hasn't been worked in years and years and years. In fact, it's all overstood, a good 30 or 40 years since it was last really worked. Well guys, here I am. And in my woodland, as I mentioned earlier, well, it's not my woodland, it belongs to the community. There's some nice places to camp in here, and if you're very discreet and don't go too mad, you can set yourself a nice little local fire and have a good cook up and enjoy a peaceful night. Through here we do get foxes, obviously grey squirrels, and we get deer. We get some wonderful deer in these woods, and I've had 1 or 2 close encounters with the deer and with the foxes. In fact, in a video of mine there of a while back, a good couple of years back, there's a fox that walks right behind me. I've been coming to this woodland for some 7 years now. It's literally right on my doorstep. Great piece of woodland, and I've seen a lot of changes over those 7 years. A group called the Kent High Wheel Project has management facilities here. They manage the woodland, they've cut back a lot of the laurel and a lot of the rhododendron, which has opened it up fantastically. And there's a lot of what I would call insect houses about, big piles of wood for the insects, either invertebrates, some mammals, you know, rats, squirrels and what have you. I say, it was once, part of this was once part of a big house, the gardens to a big house, and the other part of it was actually coppice woodland, sweet chestnut coppice, of which there's still quite a lot about. It hasn't been worked in a good many years now, and it should be. Yeah, well, my little doggy's doing zoomies all over the place at the moment. It's a wonderful place to be. Now, as I mentioned earlier, most people I think are beginning to miss aspects of bushcraft. They're going out into woodland, they're assuming that they can have carte blanche in the woodland, which they can't. They modify their area that they camp out in, and as I showed you in the previous clip, my little camp area that I use, I try and leave it as leave no trace. To my mind, that is the art of bushcraft, going out into the woods, leaving as little behind as possible. If you're doing an expedition style camp, it's a slightly different matter, but most of us aren't. Most of us go out just for the night, or a couple of nights. I like to leave it as pristine as possible. Now, my bushcraft, as Avalon said this morning, has gone up a level really. We visit a lot of other places, which is one of the reasons why I haven't done any filming of late, for a good few months even. We go to English Heritage and National Trust places. I'm a guide at Sissinghurst Castle for the woods and the countryside. And I've also rekindled some childhood interests. One of them happens to be paleontology. And to that end, I will be in the future doing some filming of my fossil hunting trips. I live quite near the coast, Folkestone, Hastings, Bexhill, along that part of the coast. And also we holiday in Dorset, which has got the Jurassic Coast, World Heritage Site, marvellous place to visit. Other than that, as I say, as you can see, it's a spring morning, there's a slight mist in the air, it's wonderful. I can hear chiff-chaffs, blue tits and other birdies singing. I've not heard any woodpeckers. The ramsons are out. The blackberries are just past their best now, as far as the buds go. Just have to wait till autumn. You can make a tea from the leaves, from the more mature leaves. It gives you a blackberry flavoured tea. And I'm just enjoying myself. There are a couple of videos videos I watch now, I follow. That's Vinny in Ireland and Felix Imler in Switzerland. Now both those guys use folding knives, going to show that you don't have to have the big fixed blade knife. You can get by with just a folding knife, whether it's a Swiss Army knife or another knife. Felix made some skis using a Swiss Army knife, and he's made various other things just using a folding knife. There will be more. I'm going to do a video on tools for the woods, because I do a little bit of spoon carving. Other than that, as I say, lovely day out here, guys. It's nice, as you can see. If you ever see a guy in the south of England wearing a kilt of no determinate tartan, this happens to be a Buchanan tartan. It's a Buchanan modern, I believe. I've got a Buchanan ancient indoors. Just someone wearing a kilt in the south of England, say hello, because it's probably me. This is Greg's Wood. I also hang around in the Ashdown Forest as well. Slightly different forest, it's more open, it's more heathland, it's a medieval hunting forest, so we've got a pile around it as well, which is a big bank, and that's quite interesting. There's not a lot else I'm going to say today, guys. This is just a re getting back into filming. I've been asked by a few people to start doing films again. It's something I've been wanting to do for a while. It's just getting the effort to get up and get out and do it. I'll be doing some filming from my job as a guide for Sissinghurst. I'll be doing some films in the woods there. We're coming up to the bluebell season. I get there early, so I like to have a wander around the grounds on my own. And I see my little dog is chasing squirrels now, so I'm going to catch you later, guys. Bye.